Hello. So we are recording. I wanted to say we are live. So yeah, I guess we are. Welcome to Shakti Essence Ascension Saga. This is my dear friend Maggie, and I have an honor to interview her on her ascension journey. So do you want to say hi, Maggie?
Hi, everybody.
Right. So, sorry, what did you say?
So excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited as well. So, I don't have any questions prepared, as you know, right?
Okay.
But what I would like to do as an opening to this interview, I would like to give it to universe. So whatever needs to be said is gonna be said, okay?
Okay.
So would you like to take a few breaths with me, and I will guide it, and then okay. I will say something, and then something special, and then we will. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So if you would close your eyes, and I will do the same, and take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and release it out through the mouth. Heavenly Universe, please accept this interview, Ascension Saga interview, with its all spiritual gifts, and make us an instrument of your being. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Namaste. My immunity sees your immunity. Right. So let's go. I have met Maggie on this amazing platform called Opportunity Community. It has been super divinely guided, because when I saw her face, I just thought, I have goosebumps. Oh, she's my family. Then you, Maggie, came and messaged me, didn't you? You made the first move. And here we are.
Like every time you spoke, I felt such a connection, and I thought, well, why not? Why not reach out and see what that is?
It was super special. Could I just ask?
Oh, I lost you.
Yep. Here you go. I'll be back. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Literally, as I said, could you come closer to the phone?
Or come closer, sure.
That's it.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So where was I? Yes, so that's how our journey started. And we have been holding each other's hand ever since, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
So yeah, we truly have a really beautiful relationship. And I wanted Maggie to come on the Ascension Saga and talk to me about her ascension, about her awakening. And she's the number one.
Oh, so honored. Thank you.
So tell me a little bit of, how your journey was, as much as you want to share, because I know you have a really, really deep story. So as much as, you're comfortable with sharing,
okay.
Go ahead. So I would like to know, I guess, a little bit of your history, your emotional history per se, and then what was the pivotal point of this massive awakening when you just thought, wow, okay, this is it. This is the shit. This is what I have to do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, go for it.
So I guess just start with childhood. I had a very two loving parents that were very wounded, coming from, places of their own wounds. And I think what I really want to say is, when you're coming from a place of your own wound, things happen that you don't even, my parents did not have an understanding of what was going on, what was happening. I was severely and brutally sexually abused by a family friend. And through the trauma, I blocked it out for several years and started having flashbacks when I was 18. And
how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind. 46.
Awesome. You look good, girl.
Thank you. I would say that at that time, that's really when my awakening started. I had no clue that's what it was, because there were things that I knew. I remember saying, this stops here. The abuse stops here. I have a long line in both sides of my family of sexual abuse, of emotional abuse, of physical abuse. And physical abuse stopped with my parents. That stopped there. But the emotional, the mental, the sexual, I was like, this stops here. This stops with me. And I didn't know where that came from at the time.
Yeah. Would you say you was the black sheep of the family?
In a way, like sometimes I don't really resonate with that. But in a way, yes, because I was the first.
It's a label. It's not a very nice
label.
label. Yeah.
But what it was is, yes, because I said, look, this happened to me. And nobody, I had support, but that's tough, awful, shitty stuff to look at that's happening in your family. But it also gave, like, my grandpa the courage to say, this happened to me. Quite a few years later, my dad said the same thing happened to me. Already knew it had happened to my mom. It had happened to the woman that abused me. It just, so yes, if we're gonna put a label on it, yeah.
Oh, I'm super proud of you, darling. I got goosebumps. Look, literally.
Oh, you do.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. This is such a deep stuff. Carry on. I just wanted to encourage you.
Thank you. So I really feel like that's where my awakening started, was all those years ago. Not knowing that was part of my purpose for coming here, was to stop those patterns.
Yeah.
Those toxic, heinous things that have been going on for generations and generations and generations. I got married at a very young age. I was 19.
Okay.
Had 5 children within 8 years.
Being busy, girl.
Yes. But I also know that that's part of my plan too, is to have these amazing beings in my life, and to change the way in our family, the way that we parent. My parenting style is totally different than what my parents, and even my ex-husband, or what was going on in his family and his life, and more of guidance. My life is, or their life is not about me.
Yeah.
What they do, you know, their own journey, their own path, their growth. They are who they are, and I celebrate that and want them to have the courage and the fortitude to be who exactly they are, who they came to be.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being that light.
Thank you.
Okay, so you said that your awakening like started like when you was 18 then, right?
When I was 18. So then I would say from 18 to about 35. Really silenced myself, pushed everything down, really wasn't true to myself, and speaking my own truth, even knowing what that truth was.
Yeah. Because perhaps you didn't know what your needs were, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Perhaps you didn't even understand what your needs were.
No, I didn't. And now that I look back on that time in my life, I really was growing. I was, you know, figuring stuff out, but it was in a lot of ways, it was such a dark time.
Yeah.
And I got to a point and silenced myself to protect others. To, you know, I came up and said, this happened to me. And then I was like, well, what the fuck do I do with this now? Because you just push on, you just move forward. That's what's expected.
Yeah.
And
that's the old paradigm, isn't it? It's just like shove it all somewhere and don't deal with it because it doesn't matter. It's in the past. Don't open the door to the past.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's in the past. What's in the past is in the past.
Fuck that.
Leave it there.
we want the past to be here.
Well, I think with the past, it's a door to what is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's understanding yourself. It's understanding your needs, right? Because back then you didn't even understand. You probably didn't even would understand what the word need was, right? Because it was all about everyone else, not you.
Oh, exactly.
You knew what everyone else needed from you, but you didn't let them know what you needed from them, right?
Right. And at that time, I had no idea I was an empath. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that was. And so I kept taking on everyone else's energy, their stuff, their feelings, their needs. And I became very sick around 33, to the point where I was walking with a walker. I had no leg strength. I had parasites and bacterial infections, all kinds of stuff. So that was kind of like the second half of what I would call my awakening. And I remember thinking, am I going to be this way for the rest of my life? 33 years old and laying in bed for weeks. Just what is going on? And there was a time when I started realizing, well, maybe part of this is I'm responsible for this. It's not so much about everything that's happening to me. What is my responsibility and where I'm at right now? And I feel like that when I get to those places of where's my responsibility in all of this, is when I have the biggest breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
In,
beautiful.
instead of, well, my mom did this to me, or, you know, my ex-husband was this, or I didn't do that, you know, just what is trying to come through me to show me, to teach me the lessons. What is this
Right.
trying to teach me?
Yeah, rather than being in the victim mode, you know, martyrdom, and be like, you know, pointing fingers, you realize that you chose this family, you know, they didn't choose you, you chose them, right?
Yeah.
Because you need those lessons.
Right.
You need those lessons. You need to, you know, finally maybe in this lifetime put the stop to them, you know. And by the sounds of it, you're doing that. So congratulations, well done. You know, and it just really makes sense. And the growth as well. You've gone through so much. I didn't even know about this sickness.
No, yeah.
So
There was something.
that
It was, and it was scary for all of us. I think, and my kids still, it was a scary time for them. It's something that they still, wow. But to
so
have
how old were you? 36, did you say?
33,
So your kids were still tiny, no?
yes, they were like 14 to 6, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was
It was
their
so
own awakening also.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So then I started getting better and realizing, you know, like I said, starting to take responsibility. And that's when I had stayed home with my kids.
Mm-hmm. And how long did that take for you? How long did that period of time? I know time is linear, and for those that will be watching, time is a bullshit construct
Right.
of the human mind. But we wouldn't. I got to download the. We wouldn't function without time, right? As being in a human vessel. So how long did it take from the worst point of your illness? Probably like it just got so bad that you just kind of like had to surrender and just be like, fuck this, right?
Yes. It was probably close to 2 years.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
a year and a half to 2. It was
Whoa.
probably around right around a year and a half, because you know, had gone to neurologists, had gone to every doctor, went to a really, we live in North Carolina, or we moved to North Carolina at the same time as all this is happening. So we went to Duke, you know, one of the best hospitals, the neurologist, and he was like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's psychological. I was like,
Isn't it lovely when they say
head.
that?
It's in your head. So I think that's when I started thinking, what if it is? What if it is? Some of this is from my trauma, my childhood trauma. And start from that point. And I was able to go to a clinic that was holistic, and they helped me find, you know, there were things that were, I had a bacteria that, it wasn't Lyme disease, but it was a bacteria that can cause Lyme disease. That's what was making my legs weak and I couldn't walk. You know, so there were definitely things, but I think what happens is my immune system was so low from taking on all this stuff on myself. Not even so much that what other people were, but I was doing that. I was taking on. So my immune system got low. It was compromised. So that's how I got so sick. But it was actually a gift. It was for me to totally stop so I could see. And at the time, I didn't see it that way. But now looking back, I see what was happening, the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So from there, I decided, you know what, I think it's time for me to do something for me. And I went to cosmetology school. And that's when I started realizing that my happiness mattered, what was right for me, or speaking my truth, here and there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of
those light bulb moments, right?
Yes. And I had been in a very unhappy marriage. For a long time, and very, very hard to look at that. Here I have 5 children with someone, and how do I do this? How do I, especially, I got through school, made hardly anything, but there was something inside me that I knew if it wasn't right for me, it just wasn't right for our family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I went through really, really rough time with that, with restructuring my my whole thought system, the way I felt about myself, the way I parented. And that's when my spirituality shifted to, at the same time, as I was going through my divorce, I left the church that I had been a part of for many, many years, and had raised our children in that church.
What kind of church was it?
The Mormons, or the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
Very, basically, if you're not doing everything that the church says, your life is just going to be shit. It's going to fall apart. It's going to...
The devil will come down. The devil will come up from the fucking...
And what I started to see is that when I was listening to my own heart and what I needed and what my truth was, that's where my happiness was coming from. It wasn't from all the outside things that my whole life I thought that's where happiness came from. You have big house and a secure job and all the bullshit that and maybe I hadn't gotten anywhere in life because I hadn't achieved. I didn't go to school right out of high school. I didn't go to college. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I basically a failure.
Yeah. But you're not.
No. I started to realize that maybe there's, I believed in a higher power, but I didn't believe that was some man in the sky telling me what was right and what was wrong.
Right. Yeah. Because that power is actually within us, isn't it?
Yes.
As much as people do not want to admit to it just yet, obviously this very, very advanced, not very advanced, let's say, but on the spiritual path, we know that we are gods, right?
Yes.
We are not the gods that are, like Kali and Zeus and all of that,
right.
but the divinity is inside of us. Therefore, we are like gods,
Like, yes. And that, I think it's scripture. The kingdom of God is within you. That started hitting me. I'm like, maybe it's inside here. It's really not out there. So that started to sink in and find a place in my heart.
I like, you know what? I've been having goosebumps throughout you talking. It's just a blessing to hear your story. I mean, I have heard your story, but not in such like, it's a different, you're coming from a different angle right now, isn't it? So it's a very, very interesting story, and it just makes you so special because of what you've been through, and you're still going through it. It's because it's not the end, isn't it?
Oh my God, it doesn't end. And I think that's, you know, for so long I was like, fuck, why again? Why am I this a deeper level? Why is this coming up? And being able to, I'm getting to a place. I don't think I'm fully there. I'm getting to a place where it's easier to surrender to that.
Because you see, what I saw in one of my meditations, just as the lockdown began, I saw an onion, and it was cut in half. Onion, and whoever, my higher self or my guide said, you only taking away a few layers of this onion. And I was like,
they're like, fuck, no.
Why me? So this is what we are really. We are these onions, you know, and sometimes the layer is thicker, and sometimes, but you know, that layer goes from thick to thin, right?
Right. You know, that translucent, that really transparent piece sometimes that comes off.
Yeah.
And then those thick.
And those thick ones are the most important ones, but you couldn't get to the thick one without taking the transparent one, right?
Okay. That's deep shit, Neringa.
That's so fucking deep. But I was thinking about that, like, it just makes sense, right? Because it's like the way life is a labyrinth, right?
Yes.
So it's like it's there is so many analogies, because it's like it's always the way, and there is many ways. The destination, which is not really a destination, I mean, the destination is ascension, it's love, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do we ever reach that? You know, not on this planet Earth, I think, because our bodies would not be able to hold that vibration, because it's such a huge vibration we can't even comprehend as human beings, right?
Right.
As human vessel, because we are spiritual beings, right? Need to get my words right.
You're good. You're good.
So yeah, it makes sense. So where are you now? Where are you at now on your journey? What kind of like things do you have to deal with now, if you don't mind sharing that?
I don't mind at all.
Okay.
I would say in the last 2 years, I have come through like this accelerated peeling of the onion, like faster than sometimes I can even keep up with.
Probably especially right now, isn't it?
Oh my God. Yeah, right now. And so where I'm at right now is I feel like I'm pushing through this really deep, hard lesson that I've held on my whole life. Belief systems, like a belief of I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm inadequate. I'm not strong enough, not pretty enough.
Oh, girl.
And I don't like here, I don't feel that way. It's way down deep.
Yes.
You know, it's those things. So the last 2 years I've been jamming through those beliefs.
Yeah.
Because I got to a point 2 years ago, I was like to another place of, this is my responsibility. I had met the love of my life, my soulmate.
Yay!
Yes.
Big up. It's Randy, right?
Randy, yeah.
Big up, Randy.
Woo! And life was amazing, but I still had all these feelings coming out. And like you said, these deep beliefs about myself that I know for me to be able to do what my life purpose is, I have to keep shedding that. And it's probably, it's not going to, like you said, be this one thing where I'm done.
Yeah. Oh, my heart is like bursting out with love all the time.
I think it's in the small moments, you know, those small breakthroughs, the small moments when you can let yourself be seen.
Yeah. And you know what? I was funnily enough, I was just thinking that just before this call or early on today, like these moments of this total peace and I got goosebumps again, and this total love. It just comes at these moments when you're just like eating an apple.
Yeah.
Or like remembering how your friend gave you a hug and this feeling, you know, because some people give you a hug and it's like this hollow fucking shitty place, right? Like, ugh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Right? But you still have to kind of like think, oh, hopefully my love will warm you up. You know what I mean? But then other people, when you hug them and, you know, and they hold you and your hearts connect.
Yes.
And you know, I met up with my medicine friends yesterday, and we all hug like that. And you know, and they are the people, they're the first people I think that I have been okay with being held, you know. Because at Tantra school, when people wanted to hold me, I would be like, ugh, please, I don't trust you. Do not hold my heart. So it's like this, isn't it? It's like these tiny increments of, you know, showing that much love, you know, and this is what life is, isn't it? Because if we would get a big blob of that love, we would take it for granted, like we always do with everything.
Mm-hmm. And I think there are seasons when it's just like, whoosh.
Yeah.
But we need that to be able to get through the, you know, I'm in a dark, it's more of a dark phase, but I see the light coming through that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's
so what does the stuff you're working through right now? Is it the same stuff you told me about, or is it different?
It's probably it's different. So I have realized that every July I start to go into a depression.
Oh no, okay.
And don't want to get up. You just kind of want to hide. And it was actually my sweet husband that said, Maggie, he called me out and said, you know, there's something going on. So I was just honest about, there is this one specific memory that I have that pretty sure it happened in July. And it's a call from my inner child, from 10-year-old Maggie.
I was just about to bring in my inner child work stuff, and you just said it, babe.
Yeah.
This is it. Okay. This is why we're doing this right now.
Because, and I think...
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
No, go.
You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yes, a definite call from her. And 10-year-old Maggie I have not done a lot of work with her.
Okay.
8-year-old Maggie, yes. 15-year-old, which I didn't even think of that as my inner child.
Mm-hmm. But it is.
And yeah, and I have this feeling that these 3 ages, 8, 10, and 15, as I'm able to go in and help that part of me heal, it will all be integrated.
So, darling, this is where I come in then.
Yes.
Because I work with inner child. And I would be honored to help you as well. As much as you help yourself, I can help you. Because can you just tell us what you do with your art? What is your purpose, right? And we kind of gonna come back with the inner child to your purpose. So tell us what is it that you do now that you've gone through this huge awakening upon awakening, dark night of the soul, and you have something great happening for you, don't you?
I do. Yeah. So when I was a little girl, I wanted to be an artist. I was 5.
He's so good. You are so good, darling. I'm so proud of you.
So when I was, that got smushed, and my whole life I pushed it down, and I kept hearing this from different meditations or just different sources, different people. If you knew you could not fail, what would you do? And it always, like, boom, an artist. I would be an artist. And I even had people say, well, you are an artist. I just didn't believe it. And I dabbled. Art is where I feel alive.
I'll squeeze you.
Art is where totally in touch with my own heart and who I am.
And your inner child is
My
where that is. That art is your baby.
And where my biggest critic would come out, that you're not good enough, you don't have training, you don't, just everything that I could sabotage myself with is where it would come out. For about 2 years, I thought, what if I just started doing art? Yeah, just do something, and using a process that I learned through a book. And it wasn't, she doesn't quite lay it out in the book, but it was something that just kind of came to me through reading her book. Her name is, she's a mixed media artist, which is very, very taken by mixed media because it's different layers, different mediums, paint, paper, clay, anything you want it to be.
Amazing. So you are not like restricted.
No. To just, I've painted for years and have loved it, but this mixed media just like blows my heart wide open. So I started where she talked about, her name is Kelly Ray Roberts, and if you saw her art you would go, oh, I know her, she's pretty. And she started with, she felt this calling to be an artist, and she was, I think, a physical therapist or something like that. Okay. No art background, nothing.
Very physical, body wise. Yeah,
but just started on this art journey, and this so very inspirational to me. I thought, well, if she did, why just, like, open the floodgates, come on.
Yeah.
And it started where this process, because she talked about in your art, if you're only making art for what you think other people want, it's not going to touch anyone. It's not going to sell. It's not going to do anything for you.
You see, people pleasing, isn't it? That stems again to the inner child. And
Oh, and I am definitely, yes, like a recovering people pleaser.
yeah, aren't we all though?
Oh my God, yes. I think everybody, to whatever level that is.
Yeah, I think it's even like with the different people, it becomes that. This is what I'm noticing, that even in relationships, that like maybe in one relationship you are one part of you, in another relationship you are another part of you, right? So even if the last relationship you wasn't pleasing people, and in the other relationship you are fucking pleasing like anything, you know?
Right. Yeah, it comes out in different ways, definitely.
Yeah.
So I started this process where underneath on my art pieces was the darkness, what felt like all the yuck and all the things that felt like too much or not enough or whatever that may be. And then a layer of covering up. And I didn't know what that layer was for a while, that middle layer. And then on the top layer, the light, who you are, the true essence of you. And what I have come to find is that middle layer is the harmony, the balance of the dark and the light of who you are. So I started doing this just for me, and my art, like, I still look at some pieces like, did I really do that? What?
It's absolutely amazing, your art.
Thank you.
And I'm supposed to do one, but we just been so busy, right? So we didn't get to
We'll
it.
really
But
get you. So I started through the shutdown. I had an idea. I did one class where I had family and friends come, and I took them through this process through mixed media art.
Wow.
And then I was able to do it through Zoom and FaceTime, and I'm still doing it.
Nice.
I have a client right now, and it's soul work through art.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Absolutely
And
beautiful.
it's beautiful because it's different for everyone. It's different. The breakthroughs. I had a client say, I'm really angry at my painting. I was like, that's great. That's a break. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's
sorry. Yeah, go on.
nope. It's really beautiful to watch this process for different people. It's different for everyone, but it's still, we're the same because we all go through different things, but the feelings are the same.
Yeah.
The feelings, the processes, the emotions, the same, and that's what makes us one. That's what
it is. I just want to. Sorry.
That's what helps us connect. On that deep level.
Yeah, exactly. I've been thinking. I told you, but I've been thinking about my dark layer, and I cannot wait to start because I'm really interested what will come out of it. Because at the moment I can only think of the dark layer, the deepest dark layer that I can create. So it will be interesting. So yeah, and this is what I wanted to say. This is why I wanted you to speak about your art and your art therapy, right? Because this is art therapy, and how it just goes right into the inner child, because what inner child wants and needs is that love and support and connectivity, love, never enough love.
set them free to be who they are.
Exactly. And when we cater for the little us, yeah, within us, then they don't cause those problems for the adult us, because we learn to be in cooperation with them, right? Without them losing their shit and going like, fuck this, I'm gonna sabotage your entire life now.
Yes.
You know?
I'm not getting what I need. I mean, I sometimes will throw a little fit and I go, oh.
Yeah, you go like, oh, hi Maggie, hello girl. Yeah, so yeah, go.
So little Maggie feels safe to throw fits, to be who she is, so more aware of, ooh, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's expression.
Yeah.
As long as you bring light to it, that you understand
and not take it out on other people.
Exactly, that's the most important one.
Or yourself. I mean, yeah, just that awareness of what's really going on. And I think for the last 6 months, that's something, one of the biggest things for me is the awareness that I've had around the inner child, the saboteur, the victim. I pretty damn quick I can, oh, that's my victim talking. Oh, okay.
Yeah, these archetypes really helps us when we are fully, well, not fully maybe, but when we are more aware of ourselves, then we can really pinpoint those things, isn't it?
Yeah. And how can I come to myself in love and compassion and trust?
Yeah.
And then you're able to bring that out for other people.
Beautiful. Yeah, so what I wanted to say is that just like you are working with the inner child, I am now deeply committed to inner child work as well. So we can help each other. Just like we have been doing it, but just in a deeper level, I guess, where it's even more beneficial, and just keep holding each other's hands, right?
Absolutely.
Would you like to say any like summarization word or like inspirational fucking quotes or whatever for the ones that are gonna listen? Just speak from the heart. Don't give us no quotes, by the way. I was just joking.
I'm gonna wave to my daughter. She's looking at me creepily. She's like, hey. I would say find out who the authentic, real you is.
Yeah.
That, and shine that out into the world. Being able to be who you are is a true gift to the world. And it shifts people, places, things in ways that you're not aware of when you're able to be who you are, and vulnerable, and able to let go of not only what other people think of you, but the ways that you've held yourself back.
Yeah.
And being able to, and it's not like we talked about the whole time, it's not one big event. For my whole life I thought, when I get there, it's just gonna be like nothing ever is gonna go wrong again. No. But what happens is when you're living from your heart, from who you are, and connecting your soul and your heart together, that when the hard shit happens, you realize, fuck, I got this. You stand in your own, it's not just walking into, you're there. You're standing in your own power.
That's it.
And when those storms come, you're rooted. You're rooted in who you are, because you're rooted in your own heart and who you are. And it does not what anybody else thinks. And that's a daily thing. It's absolutely a daily
thing. Thank you. This was
absolutely
amazing.
It really was. Thank you for the opportunity, Neringa, my friend. Oh, I love you so much.
I love you so much too. I'm gonna stop the recording. So bye guys. Thank you for listening.
Guys.
There will be more of these coming. I cannot promise that it's gonna be very consistent and regular thing, because I'm working on so many things right now. So this has been in the planning stages for a month maybe, so I've done it. So I guess eventually I want to do at least once a week. So
eventually, why not now? Motherfucker, do it every week. Boom.
Fuck. She caught me out. She caught me out. Let's do this, motherfuckers.
Do it.
Yeah. And the reason, I think, because I like I said in the beginning, I didn't have any questions. I didn't prepare. I did have like few questions would come and go, and I did have some sort of idea what I wanted this to be. But I think the reason why I'm doing this, because people have to realize that being on the planet Earth is not just fucking getting drunk and getting fucked up and being in the toxic relationships and just dying and then that's it, done deal. No, reincarnation is a real fucking thing. And if you are not getting your shit together right now, you will have to get your shit together sometime in the next lifetime or the lifetime after or the lifetime after, so why not start now? And this is why I'm doing these interviews, so you can see that people go through fucked up shit, but they survive, and they thrive. I heard someone saying, I don't like the word survive because we are fucking thriving. And that's right, because doesn't matter what kind of shit we go through and how long for, the shit that we are going through, we're going through it because our soul knows that we're gonna come out of it stronger and more powerful, and the next thing might be harder because it's like, it's like a game. We leveling up, and there is many dimensions to fucking level up to, so like from what I know is 27, and the earth is only stepping into the 5th, so that's a lot of work to do and to go through. And I don't even know whether Mother Aya would actually even be able to be on the 27th dimension. Not in I don't think we humans can comprehend that. But yes, so thank you for listening. Thank you for taking an hour. I think it was an hour out of your time. And see you soon. See you next week. Fingers crossed. Love you.
Love you.